I'm Betty from the Wayne County Public Library in Holmesdale, Pennsylvania, and welcome to Sunday Snug as a Bug story time. I'm glad that you're with me tonight. We are going to read a really beautiful book. Hello. Hi, Mace. Hi, Dorothy. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Emma. Aw, hi. Hi. How are you guys doing? How are you feeling? Hi, Rudy and Talia. Made chocolate chip cookies. You asked me what kind of cookies I've made. They're called none. Hi, Liam. Hi, Megan. Hi, Emma and Levi. Hi, Anna. Hi, Macaulay. Hi, Sophia. Hi, Vivian. Hi, Manny and Alex. So many names popping up. Hi, Luke and Charlotte. Hi, Caleb. Hi, Grayson. Hi, Richard and Henry. Oh my goodness. Well, I think we can start. Okay, let's do our checklist. Are you in your pajamas? Do you have... Hi, Alexa. Do you have your stuffed animal or a cozy blanket? Do you have your hoops in? Are you feeling cozy? You feeling snug as a bug? Let's get going. All right, so tonight's book. Hi, Liners. Hi, Everett. Hi, Eva. Hi, Levi. Tonight's book is such a good book that it got a beautiful award called the Caldecott Honor Award. See that beautiful silver award? And it's called Thank You, Omu. And Omu in Nigerian, which is another language, means queen. But it also, to this author, that word is what she called her grandmother. So it's called Thank You, Omu. And it's by Oga Mora. And she must have also done the artwork because remember when it just has the one name, that means this, it means that the person did the writing, they thought up the story, and they drew the beautiful pictures. Italia. Hi, Harvey. Okay, here we go. Thank You, Omu. On the corner of First Street and Long Street on the very top floor, Omu was cooking a thick red stew in a big fat pot for a nice evening meal. Well, that sounds cozy. She seasoned and stirred it, and she took a small taste. Oh, what a delicious stew, she said. Tonight's dinner will surely be the best I have ever had. And there she is. She's making that beautiful stew. And what's coming out of here? Oh, that's the smell of the stew. And now, can you tell where she lives? Does she live where there are cows out in the country? Or do you think she lives... Is there any clue there? Big, tall buildings. They're called skyscrapers, so she must live in the city. With that, Omo put down her spoon, and she went to read a book before supper. As the thick red stew simmered on the stove, its scrumptious scent wafted out the window. That smoky picture that we saw was it wafting out the window. That's the smell moves around and goes out the window. It's called wafting. And out the door, it wafted down the hall, toward the street, and around the block until, knock, knock, somebody was at the door. When Omu opened it up, okay, let's see, there she is. There's the stew, and the smell is wafting out the window, and she opens up the door, and it was a little boy. Little boy, Omu exclaimed, what brings you to my home? I was playing with my race car down the hall when I smelled the most delicious smell. The little boy replied, what is it? Thick red stew. Mmm, stew, said the little boy. That sure sounds yummy. He's playing with his car. and he smelled that beautiful thick red stew. Omu thought for a moment. She was saving her stew for dinner, but she did make quite a bit. It wouldn't hurt to share. Would you like? The little boy nodded. And so Omu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat meal. Thank you, Omu, the little boy said, and he went on his way. She filled up his bowl. She's a good sharing girl, isn't she? You know, I just noticed she's got really great earrings. I always notice that. She's got her hoops in. She's ready. With that, Omu closed the door and she went back to her book. As she read, her thick red stew, its scrumptious scent, wafted out the window, out the door, down the hill, down the hall, towards the street and around the block until, knock, knock, someone was at the door. Who do you think it's going to be? Somebody's smelling it. When Omu opened the door this time, she saw a police officer. Miss Police Officer, Omu exclaimed, what brings you to my home? Oh, I was on duty down the street when I smelled the most delicious smell. Mrs. Police Officer replied, what is that? It's my thick red stew. Ah, stew, she said, and her mouth watered. That sounds mighty tasty. Omu thought for a minute. There was still enough to share. Would you like some? The police officer nodded. And once again, Omu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. Thank you, Omu, the officer said, and she went on her way. Everybody's enjoying that stew. So far, right? The little boy, and now the police officer. Hi, Meadow. And so for the second time, Omu closed the door to her book. She's a good reader, Omu. I like that she likes to read books. Sure enough, as she read, her thick red stew's scrumptious scent wafted out the window, out the door, down the hall, towards the street, and around the block until, can you do it with me? Knock, knock, knock. Again, somebody was at her door. This time when she opened it, okay, so here's some people here. Well, there's the police officer. She already got some stew. I see a man. He's a hot dog vendor. I can see his hot dog truck. And then I see a construction man. So maybe it's one of them. It was the hot dog vendor. Mr. Hot Dog Vendor, Omu exclaimed, what brings you to my home? I was selling my hot dogs down the block when I smelled the most delicious smell, Mr. Hot Dog Vendor replied. What is it? It's my thick red stew. Ooh, stew. The vendor licked his lips. That sounds quite delectable. Good word, delectable. That means that sounds quite delicious. There's that smell of her thick red stew wafting down the hallway and out the window, and he could smell it out there, so he comes running in. So what do you think she did? She's a good sharing girl, right? So Omu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. Thank you, Omu, the hot dog vendor said, and he went on his way. You know what I'm noticing? These pictures don't look like they've been painted. It looks like the artist cut out pieces of paper. Isn't that beautiful? Throughout the day, people from all across the neighborhood knocked on her door. She fed a shop owner, a cab driver, a doctor, an actor, a lawyer, a dancer, a baker, an artist, a singer, an athlete, a bus driver, a construction worker. Even the mayor stopped by, and each time they knocked, Omu shared. I see that bus driver, and I see a dancer. And here's the cab. Here's the cab driver. Oh, there's the athlete. He's playing sports. Soon the sky darkened and the street lights brightened, and it was finally time for dinner. Nighttime's coming, time for Omu to eat. But when she opened her big fat pot of thick red stew for her nice evening meal, what happened? It was empty. She was such a good sharer that now she has nothing left. Omu sniffled. There goes the best dinner I ever had. She was feeling sorry and blue. She sat at the table with her empty pot until she heard. Remember when the author makes the letters really big? That's when I have to read it really loud. Knock, 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 knock. Who could that be? Omu wondered. When she opened the door, she saw the little boy, the police officer, the hot dog vendor, the shop owner, the cab driver, the doctor, the actor, the lawyer, the dancer, the baker. Why, everyone she fed today was at her door. I'm sorry, everyone. My thick red stew is all gone. I have nothing left to share. The little boy tugged at her sleeve. Don't worry, Omu. We are not here to ask. We're here to give. Here they all are. What do you think they're going to give? The police officer carried in a fresh salad. And the mayor entered with a roast chicken. And the baker brought a collection of sweet goodies. Even the little boy presented Omu with something special in a shiny red envelope. Everyone who had knocked on her door that day squeezed inside her tiny little apartment. And together they ate, danced, and celebrated while Omu's big fat pot of thick red stew was empty, but her heart was full of happiness and love. And the dinner was the best she had ever had. Let's see what was in that little red envelope. He wrote a little note. Thank you, Omu. The end. Isn't that a great story? I loved it because I love the artwork. I love that author cut out different fabric and different colored paper and put her scenes in the story together. But I really loved that she just kept sharing and sharing, even though she knew she was giving it and being so loving towards everybody and so generous. But what happened at the end? She was so generous, she had nothing left. But what happened? Got rewarded for being so good and so generous and for being such a good sharing person. She got rewarded with love, and everybody brought food for her and said, we're not here to ask you for anything. We're here to thank you. We're here to give to you. I love that story. And that story deserves that beautiful award, doesn't it? There it is. 2 awards, the Coretta Scott King Award and the Caldecott Honor. When you get 2 awards on your book, it is a big deal. So, thank you, Omu. I like that story. I'm glad you liked it, Richard and Henry. So, this is a good time of year to think about that. Think about sharing with people that maybe don't have as much as you do. And think about being kind to people who are feeling kind of grumpy now. You don't have to have money to share. She wasn't passing out money. She was just passing out her soup. She was just sharing right from her heart. Beautiful. So, my little Snug as a Bug family, it is time to say goodnight. So let's put our hands together and let's touch our heads and say, I am smart. I am loved. What are you? Let me hear you all the way at my house. I am wonderful. You're all those things. And we are only here next week will be our last Snug as a Bug for the year 2020. And then we start a whole new year. And April 2021 will be our 2-year Snug as a Bug birthday. I know. Get your pajamas, get special pajamas for that day. All right. Have a good night. Happy holidays, no matter what you're celebrating. If you're celebrating, if you're not celebrating, um, thanks for being in my Sunday life. You have made this past year quite bearable and very, very lovely. So thank you for that. I love you guys. Have a lovely holiday. Thank you for always joining me on Sunday.